again, this is Joe from Joyful Noise Productions, here to bring you another video. So, as I'm beginning to build this channel, please do me a favor. Like this video, share it with all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. So that way you can be able to get notifications of every video that comes here. So that way we can be able to keep this community going, whether you be a musician or even just a content creator and want to kind of make your videos sound better. Just go ahead and just click on the subscribe button and you'll get notifications of every video that happens. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, first of all, I'm going to say this straight up, okay? I'm not a Grammy winner. I'm not a multi-platinum producer. Neither am I the most well-known or renowned audio engineer. As I mentioned, I am an up-and-coming sound engineer. Just like most of us, we have this desire to want to be able to create our own music. And because we wanted to create our own music, we've been able to kind of dive into stuff by all sorts of software, hardware that we need to be able to create good music. And because of that, we have been able to take over the market and just take whatever little ideas we get that comes our way. So when I say that I'm an up-and-coming audio engineer, I have gotten my hands dirty. You can go to if you go right here up to the tag right up here, you can go to the showcases, and the showcases will let you know of what work I've done. So when it comes to audio engineering, yes, I've gotten my hands dirty. I've been able to get a little going. Now, ever since I decided to go into content creation, I wanted to kind of put that to work. So I've been able to use what they call my my Reaper program to be able to get the best audio I can. I know in the beginning, and even as of recently, I've been struggling with some bit of it, but there's always that hunger and that desire to want to have a good sound. Because I may not have the best camera, I may not always have the best equipment, but I always want to make it better. That's why the sound is constantly evolving. It's because I want to give you the best production, whether it be video or audio, that can come to you. So today we're going to talk about a free program if you are what they call a video creator. A lot of us in the music industry, or really involved in the music scene, are very aware of this free program. It is called Audacity. Audacity is an audio editing program that's for free. It's been free as long as I've known it. And as of recently, I've seen it evolve and get better as the time goes along. Okay, when I first got it, there was still some itchiness about it, like, even though today I still use other types of audio editing software that I have, and maybe later on as we go, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about that. Now, if you hear any that kind of squawky noise in the back, I think there's some birds back there, so sorry. We're going to talk about this, especially if you're being a video editor and you want to kind of dive a little bit into audio editing. Probably depends on the program you have. Audacity does import MP4 videos. Unfortunately, the only drawback with this one is that it doesn't really put the video up, but it keeps the length of the time and the length of the file, so that way you won't have to worry about it being shrunk or speeding up or anything like that sort. So when you throw it right back on your video, or when you put it back in your video, it'll be edited, and it'll sound pristine somewhat, if it depends on your audio source. However, it's it's going to sound good, a little more professional, and plus it's going to be at where it's going to be at levels where you're going to be like, wow, it sounds pretty good. So without further ado, let's go ahead, let's go into the computer, and let's go ahead and let's dig it out. Now, as you see here, on the video, you look at the you go to audacityteam.org, which is the site for Audacity. Here you could be able to download Audacity right here. But one thing you want to do is you want to go to this one right here, which is download without the Muse Hub. Because if not, what it is, it's like it's kind of a bunch of things where you can be able to get programs and stuff, other programs and stuff like that, which some come for free, some don't. It just all depends. But anyways, you want to kind of go here. Then what you want to do is you want to download it. It kind of goes into your downloads, and what you're going to come up with is this program right here. So this is what Audacity looks like. It has your transport section. It also has your tools, which you really don't need. Some of them you do, some you don't. It gives you an audio setup, so it kind of tells you how, let you know the playback devices, either MIDI sound mapper, but in my case, as you see right here, I got my my Behringer 404 HD, so that really comes in handy. So here you got your input meters and you got your output meters. Mainly we'll be working with the output meters. So as you see, you got your tabs, you got your file, your edit, you got your select. So this will tell you, because this also works as a multi-track, but when it comes to editing, you really don't need it as a multi-track. See, so it'll tell you zoom, skip to, you got your history. Also, you got your transport. Okay, you got your it's also, it tells you how, it kind of gives you an idea how you want to set up your tracks. Okay, then you got your plugin managers. Okay, you got all these things right here. So you click on this. This will let you know what effects are available, but the effects are right here. Okay, so you got your volume and compression. Okay, you have your amplifier, your auto duck, which is for ducking. Okay, you got your fading, you got your fade ins and fade outs. You got your pitch shifters, and you got your tempos. You got your equalizers. You also got your noise, your noise gates. Okay, you got your delays and reverbs. You got your distortion and modulations. You also got you could also be able to kind of manipulate the audio however way you want it. Okay, the spectral tools. This is where it kind of opens up everything. Actually, kind of what it does, it kind of puts the frequencies in colors, so you can see which frequencies are louder and which kind of are annoying. But maybe one day I'll get to explain all this, or maybe you could look it up and ask about the spectral about the spectral of the spectral diagram of or the spectrum frequency of a sound. Maybe you could look that up. So you got a lot of these, right? So this already comes with its own. Now right here, as you can just see, it has a lot of its. They have a lot of their own. These are all my third parties, so you can be able to use. So if you have any third-party plugins, which you really don't need, okay. If you're just a basic simple guy or simple person who's doing audio, all you do is just use this right here, and just use these right here, and you'll come up with your sound. Okay, now to import audio, you got to go with what they call an FFmpeg. Okay, so if you look right over here, okay, an FFmpeg is what allows you to import and export any audio file. In this case, it'll also let you import a video, but in this case, like I said, the video does not play on Audacity for whatever reason. I mean, it would be nice if it did. I know that the major audio editing software I use, which is SoundForge, it has it, but then it has a little bit of its problems as well. But again, FFmpeg is normally is more used like for audio software that allows you to play video. Now Reaper does this, so so I can be able to kind of time the videos and stuff like that. Mainly my main concern is always the Chinese video. So we go right back over here, we X out of that. Oops, I want to show you guys what I'm doing. So as you see right here, we're going right back into the Audacity setup. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go with a video. So let's go ahead, let's put the headphones on, and then let's get a look at the video. Now, as you see right here, we're gonna be using this video right here. It's just something I was just kind of trying to do for a short, or something I was just trying to do. Let's just say this is what was my old house in Moreno Valley, California. So, or like I said, Riverside. So this is what it's gonna sound like. So here I'm actually adding a guitar part to the song. So as you can see here, it sounds a little thin. Now at the time I was just using just the phone at that my A11 at the time, but at that time it didn't have a good video, so that's why it sounded the way it did. So we're gonna stop it right there. Now, like I said, it didn't sound pretty good. It was like, So, but we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna stick with that. So we're gonna go right over here. We're gonna open up a file. Okay, so right there is the original video right here. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna pull it up. Now, as you see right here, unfortunately, it gives you, you zoom in, or you can see it kind of, oops, Okay, let's go back over here. Okay, good. All right, so as you see right here is the WAV file of the video. So let's just say I want to kind of make it sound a little louder, because you can see the noise floor is not that high. So one of the things that Audacity has is what they call real-time effects. Now, when it comes to the real-time effects, I basically just go with what Audacity has available. So we're gonna pop up the compressor. I mean, definitely eventually I'm gonna talk about the compressor, but I'm gonna try to make it really like brain dead easy. Because believe me, understanding compression is not a good thing. I mean, it's kind of a bit of a headache to explain, but if it's explained properly, it'll work. Now, when it comes to your compressor, your threshold, think of it as the amount of water on the spigot that you're opening up. Okay, obviously this is going to make up for it. Kind of this is actually going to make it louder, but at the same time keep the compression, keep everything kind of like level. Now your knee width, we're not going to worry about that. Your ratio obviously is 10:1, but I'm going to try to get it like at 3. So okay, because normally that's pretty normal, between 2 and 3. What they call, when it extends to ratios, it's 2.0, 2.3 to 1. Okay, once you kind of get a little more than that, it becomes limiting at that point. But as you look right here, this will kind of help you determine. You see this right here? So if you look right here, you see that your threshold is going down. So in other words, it's putting some compression on the sound. So, okay. Oops. Let me do this better. Okay, so as you see this curve, it kind of bent down a little bit. So it'll curve the sound somewhat. Okay, now let's look ahead. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but these are the two controls you should be concerned about, which is your attack and your release. The attack is how fast the compression reacts, like that. So the release is kind of the opposite, but in this respect, it's how fast or how slow you want to release the compression. In other words, how long do you want to make it? So the tack is fast, but at the same time it can be kept slow. You know, kind of maybe depends on what you're using it for. But in this case, I'm gonna kind of go with a fast attack and a slow compression, because that way it kind of presses out a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go one. The release, we're gonna kind of go like right about here. So now this is gonna kind of be a bit in real time. Like right here is your real time right here. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna play it. So let me put this in there. So you see that line right here? This line right here is letting you know how much is letting you know that the music's in motion. Now right here, these are your peaks. See, that's your peak right there. Now if I put some makeup gain to it, so the more output gain I put in it, and right here this tells you how much where the compression is reacting. So now what I'm going to do, so as you see, it's coming off just a tiny bit hard. Okay. So if I want to kind of increase the knee a little bit, it's just kind of give more of a gain reduction kind of response to it. See right here, this is your gain reduction right here. So it kind of gives you an idea. So when you put it in real time, it gives you an idea of how the effect is going to come together. So yeah, it's going to turn it off here. But so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to be able to use the Control A kind of gets all that. So let's just say I'm going to use the same effect right here. So I'm going to use the same compression. So as you see, these are a little bit different, same controls. So let's actually, okay, this is what it should look like. But actually, so when you apply it, it's going to look something like that. So as you can see, made it a little louder, but at the same time, it still kind of kept everything under control. Now, the one thing that would have really been good about this would have been cool if this thing had its own built-in if it had automation. Okay, you know, it doesn't really have anything where you put any points or something like that, where you can be able to kind of bring down some of those highs and stuff like that. So now we got ourselves a louder track now. Now let's go ahead. Let's go to another effect. Okay, EQ filter. Okay, let's go to the high pass filter. Let's see. You know, let's do this. Oops. Oh no. Oops. Let's go. Okay, so let's go back to the filter again. Okay, here we go. Okay, actually, let's go to the notch filter. Let's go right here, so it goes into preview mode. Okay, so okay, so let's hear how it sounds. So as you can hear, it doesn't sound as crazy as it should, but let's see. Okay, this has default settings on it, so let's try something else. Okay. Okay, let's just get into a low roll off. Maybe let me see how that helps. Now it still comes off a little high, so let's go back to the defaults. Let's see, what about here? Maybe I can just okay. But let me just try this. Let's see. Now, as you see, the frequencies change a little bit. So let's put it right there. There we go. So let's try it again. So remember, what we do is we don't want too much highs. We just want just enough to kind of sound nice and smooth, but not hard, you know. So let's try it one more time. See, so now it doesn't sound as tinny. So, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go. Okay, so I gotta remember. Okay, this is 15 dB at 2000. So just in case I have to do this again, let's see. Okay, so let's see if it comes up again. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so now when we put it in there, now we're gonna apply it. So as you see, it shrunk the wave a little bit, but it's not by too much. You want it, again, you just want it just you want it just to sound just a little bit beefy, or just a, you know, we don't want it to sound too tinny. So let's go ahead and see if we can add a little more bass to it. Maybe let's see. Okay, as you see right here, there's also a bass and a treble. So, oh, you know what? Let me try something here. Here we go, effects. Okay, we're gonna try. Okay, so we're gonna put that on. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Okay, so just so let's try to see if this has any settings we can work with. Nope. All right, let's go to defaults. Maybe. So as you can see, it allows me, these real-time effects allow me to smooth out the sound. So when you apply it, it comes out nice and smooth as it should. So let's kind of put this over at 3. So let's try it one more time. So now we got everything where it should be settled. So let's go ahead. Let's get out of this real quick. Okay. So then we go to okay. Let's go to the EQs. Go to the bass and treble. So we can go 4. Then we go -3 on this one. Okay. We apply it. So now, as you see, it opened up some frequencies a little bit more than normal. So when it comes to the, get my hair out a little bit. So when it comes to the equalizer and the compressors and stuff like that, it helps control your sound. At the same time, it gets you a little bit more of what you need. And obviously, you can see when it comes to the when it comes to the equalizers, you got a graphic EQ. You also got you also got a high pass filter. So you got low pass filters, things like that. Okay, so now let me kind of show you a little bit of what the spectral tool looks like. So when it comes to the let's see. I really haven't messed with it, so let's see how it looks. Okay, spectrogram. Okay, so let's see if we can find it here. There we go. Okay, now you can see right here. This is what the the spectrum looks like. Kind of gives you a bit of where everything kind of sits in the frequencies. Like right here, it says 24 dB. In other words, it's coming off a little loud. So so in other words, it comes off a little too basic. Maybe I should have backed off on the bass a little bit. But this will tell you, usually when you tell right here that right here in the mids is where it gets a little, it gets a little too high. So in other words, it's coming off really hard. So usually what you want to do is you want to kind of keep these things as like almost as level as possible. So let's see, linear frequency. See here, see again, if you look at this one, you can see how the wave file goes. So this is what the spectrum frequencies look like. So let's kind of go with something else. Let's see, standard. Okay. So again, right here. Okay, this tells me that the bass is coming off a little hard there. Okay. So again, right here, so you see, the bass is coming off a little too much. So. That's my dog. So now let's just say, after all, when it comes to doing the audio repair and things like that, it takes its time. You got to really sit there. You got to have a good, usually you want to have a good, decent pair of speakers. Sometimes you do this old trick, and I've done it many times myself, and I still do it at times, where I'll go into a car and I'll go into my car, I'll put on the Bluetooth and I'll play whatever song I just mixed to see if it sits well in the mix. And I've been pretty good about that, as far as being able to nail the mix is because of something that Jordan Valeriat told me, which is regarding, getting used to your speakers. So what I'm doing here is the same thing. I would get used to my speakers. I would know what comes off a little hard, things like that. So when it comes to doing audio, it's kind of a bit timely, but it all comes together. So now let's just go ahead, let's export this. Okay, so right here on my computer. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, okay, so we're gonna go to the WAV file, browse, let's put this into rendered files. Okay, so that way when you put it together, you can export it to whatever place you may have your WAV files and stuff like that. So we're not really going to save it, so let's just put this down here. So let's just say you go right into your let me kind of get out of this real quick. So let's just say you're gonna start importing these things. So let's go right here to my videos. Okay, captures. Okay, there we go. Okay, now when we get the other audio, we go over here. Okay, so now when we put them together, we detach the audio on this one, so you kind of get a better view of what it looks like. And same thing right over here. So now you see there's a massive difference. So let's kind of go through one real quick. Let's turn this track off. So you see, it's on this one, it sounds a little thin. Now let's go this one. So as you begin to see, when you start being able to use compression and also be able to kind of use some of the sound shaping tools such as your EQ and stuff like that, you can kind of get the audio sounding a little more better than what you have wanted. So right here, as you get a good look at it, this is my this is normally what I would do. But I usually would use my Reaper program because obviously it has multi-tracks and I deal with multiple tracks. So it allows me to be able to kind of do more precise editing and stuff like that, even as I'm editing this video with the sound of using Reaper. So but if you want to take your video editing of your audio to the next level, and like I said, you're a creator, you want them to sound even better, go this route. Audacity is for free. There's no need to pay for it. It's widely used. So you can go to audacityteam.org and you can be able to download it. So until next time, peace out.